Hey, we just helped our allies to win the WoW. It was great. They helped us last time. We took the kingdom. This time they took the kingdom. But we're going to take a couple of steps back. We're going to go all the way back to when you're a little tiny brown castle, you're free to play, or you have a relatively low budget. And you're trying to, just get started in the game. Last time we talked about it. Grab all the free stuff you can, hunt monsters, use up your energy, you do your Verge way, do whatever you can, click on everything, understand it as well as you can. Be active. IGG awards rewards to people who are active. So that is the number one main thing to do. Do everything you can. And you're going to start getting the rewards coming in. Now, aside from that, there is the small matter of gear. I say small. Well, it's actually quite a big matter, and you have to be very, very careful what gear you make it when you are a little tiny castle. Your war gear, for example, there are certain pieces that are just kind of fine for a free-to-play baby castle. You're going to discard them later. You ultimately are going to be using mostly level 60 gear, and you're not level 60 yet. So any gear that you make for war reasons at this point is just not really going to be there or be useful for a very long time. So wasting precious materials on that is just out. You're going to make things that you can make without losing anything on the rarest stuff. And we'll do another video about war gear. And I'll give you a whole bunch of tips on that later. But for now, let's look at the very, very first gear that you're going to get, which is going to be your growth gear. And here IGG gives us a nice hint in that they give us construction set helper and research set helper. These are the two most important types of growth gear for a brand new little castle that's just trying to grow up. So let's have a look at what that gear should consist of. Over here, and I'm going to drop this one because it has nothing to do with it. I think there's a trident or something that can go there for construction. I'm not 100% sure. I did not set up this account specifically to be a growth account. I set it up to be a fun account and to kill a lot of troops, which, as you can see, I've done. But yeah, you need some growth gear. So this is a fairly good example of a construction set. Missing possibly one item. I think it is a trident, and it is made from common items that you collect from resource tiles. Now that's the cool thing about this gear. Some of it is from common items that you collect on resource tiles, and really I can dispense with this eye patch. The very, very first gear that you get is when you complete the sort of little beginner event they give you on the left of your screen when you start the game. I can't remember the name, but it is quite important to complete it because you get some pretty cool rewards, including some very basic beginner. You can use this construction and research gear, but there are much better pieces. Now on the accessory side, that's here on the right. The first piece that you really, really, really want to get, and you can get really easily, is the Sentinel's Circlet. Now the cool thing about the Sentinel Circlet is that you can make it from very commonish materials. I say commonish. You're going to gather quite a lot in order to find them, but you will be able to get the materials to make this and to keep upgrading it. So you're going to need the same materials for both. And you can easily get this piece to gold. You can also quite easily get 3 of them. I didn't bother because I wasn't really trying to grow. But ideally, that on the right, for construction, that should be 3 circlets. Okay, let's take a look at this one. As you can see, wow, at gold, it's giving me 17.5% construction speed. I liked that at the time. Looking back, I would maybe rather have upgraded the boots, done this one, but sort of prioritized the boots because they both come out of the Griffin set. The Griffin is the monster that you find on the map. So you're going to be hitting griffins and you're going to be collecting guild gifts in order to get the materials that you need for this. And there's one very, very rare ingredient in most monster hunting at least in most monster hunting equipment. I'm not sure if this one actually uses that. I can't upgrade it, otherwise I could take a look. But it might be that it doesn't use the Griffin core, which is the rare item. If it doesn't use the Griffin core, go ahead. You're going to get enough of the other item. I guess I haven't prioritized the gear here, and I'm not altogether in touch with this account. These other two items here, the armor over here, construction speed, and also gathering boosts. So in other words, we can have a look at that maybe on the other Nosris piece, which is the hat. I don't know about that. Yeah, now this one is giving you a resource gathering speed, and some of the other pieces in this construction set, specifically the two Nosris pieces and the Griffin Talon, are busy giving you gathering boosts, which mean that you send less troops, that's army capacity, less troops to gather the same resources, and gathering speed, meaning that you gather the same resources much, much faster. Okay, so that's your accessories, that's your helmet and your armor. Your boots are your Griffin boots, and again we've got construction speed. That is the most useful thing on that, other than the research speed, and that's a very, very useful thing. And that is also why I'm sorry I did not actually maybe upgrade this to purple at least, instead of taking the Griffin Talon to gold, because it's a Griffin monster. It uses this thing, the Griffin core. So the Griffin core is being spread and competed with over two different pieces, your Griffin Walkers and your Griffin Talon on your offhand over there, this crossbow. Okay, well, that's your construction gear. There is another item here, which I don't think I ever made on this account. I'm going to guess it's the trident. I could double check it. I think it's there's a trident. Let's just go and look in here. All equipment, and we are looking at a main hand. What is there here? No. We keep going. Trident. Yeah, there it is. Construction speed 7%. And you can make this from common items, which is why I went to all items to look at it, because it's not an event set item like the Griffin items that we were looking at. So there we go. Those are the pieces that you need to boost your building. Do remember that building is temporary and research is forever. At some point you are going to max out your buildings, and your research will still be a very long way from finished. So let's look at the research helper, because it's even more important. This is the best gear set that you can use for research, except that obviously it's not all gold, this being my little baby. And what do we have here? This item here can be built from common materials that you pick up from gathering. So it's an easy item to forge. This here is a beauty. Look at that. Add gold, research speed 26%. That is absolutely phenomenal. That's why you're going to use it. The other things are not important. This is not a piece of war gear. This is not... Seriously, you don't... Unless you're a food hyper, you honestly want to have zero food and be eating food. So, food production. Or if you've got a lot of troops, you don't want to eat very fast, you might use those. But that's a long way for you if you're just a beginner. You're going to get that for research, and you're going to get at gold this massive 26% boost for each of your lunar flutes. And so ideally you want 3 of them gold. And you're going to use common materials that you get from gathering. This is another Nosris piece. So, if we look at the Nosris set, it's very, very tied up with growth. So we go to event equipment, and we go to Nosris. Let's see, there we are. And that's your Nosris set. You want all of these things. And yeah, ideally you do want them gold. Of them all, I would say the Electric Lance is the most important because it does give you research speed. No construction speed, but only research speed. The Lightning Guard, the armor, is construction speed and resource gathering speed. Those are the reasons why you're going to use them. The Nosferous Mask is army capacity, which means less troops going to tile together and getting the same resources. Construction speed, absolutely you want it, and resource gathering speed, yes, you want that too, because you're going to be gathering all these common materials for these other pieces that we've been talking about. So the Nosferous set, the entire Nosferous set, is very, very important for your growth. In research, you're only going to use the lance. This piece here is a level 60. You're not going to be able to use it for a long time, but when you start using material from worms, jade worms, you're going to build the wormbone coronet. Even if you are just teeny weeny still, you will be level 60 at some point, and this is a very, very worthwhile piece to have. Of the entire worm set, I would say it is the most worthwhile. My main has a gold, so yeah, you know, Mythic is for people that spend a lot of money, I think. Very much doubt I'll ever see that go Mythic, but yeah, gold is worth having. Even purple. Take a look at that. Research speed 6%, ranged attack 27%. So this really is a piece that you can use in war. Army max HP rules, you want that. Love it. Level 60 piece, the devil to level up, so don't waste your worm pieces, your worm items. Let's just take a closer look at that. Upgrade. Here's your rare item that you need to upgrade this piece. The Jade Orb. So you can see how far away I am from this. This account is a couple of years old. Can't remember how many. This piece here is called Cavalry Mail, but guys, it's not Cavalry Mail. It's Research Mail, and that's really round about all that it does. The Siege Engine attack is not worth your while. Siege is useless. Don't even bother. Food production rate. Yeah, you might use that one day when you've got so many troops. You're eating so fast that when you open a food pack, it's just gone. So yeah, that's your research set. I think I've covered all the pieces. The Griffin Walkers we did under construction, and it has research boosts as well. This is from common materials from gathering. These are from common materials from gathering. This is from common materials from gathering, and this is a Griffin piece. This is a Nosferous piece, and this is a worm piece that you're going to make, and it's going to take a while before you can use it, but it's worth doing if you're going to play the game with foresight. Those are the two most important growth sets. There are two other growth sets we can look at later, and that is your monster hunting set as well as your familiar set. But just at the outset, these are the two most important gear sets that you're likely to have.